The Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals, this is the Court of Appeals that handles Kentucky, Michigan, Ohio, and Tennessee, or parts thereof. This is a U.S. court. They obviously handle cases that have come up the ladder, as it were. And recently, a case came up from Michigan, a woman who was very good at collecting parking tickets. In fact, she had apparently 15 parking tickets, which in my world is where I just take away your license and cut it up. And then go, you got to take the bus. But I know that's not very fair. That's not very tolerant. And, driving is a right. No, wait, it's a privilege. Anyway, decided to take this to court. She lost locally. She lost at the state appeals, but the Sixth Circuit, 11 out of 15 of which judges are guess which party, decided that this woman had been dealt with unfairly. Why? Because the local police in Saginaw, Michigan were chalking her tires so that they could come back in 2 hours. And if her car hadn't moved, they would write it a ticket. This is a practice done lots of places. Mm-hmm. Well, the Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals said, no, that violates your Fourth Amendment rights. And if you're not familiar with the amendments, this is your right against unlawful search and seizure. Now, if there are question marks shooting out of your head right now, like there are mine, it doesn't really make any sense. So suffice to say right now, if you get a parking ticket and your tires were chalked, just saying.
Yeah, but all it's going to do is make it more expensive. They're going to take a picture of your car and compare it against some database. And
in Boulder, Paul, what do they do in Boulder?
In where?
And I know this because when I was vacationing in Boulder with my wife, we watched as we were around Pearl Street. And we watched as a street, I don't know, whatever, street car thing, monitor, drove slowly around the street. And we asked one of the people, I think we were renting a bike, what the deal was.
Oh, yeah, there's no license plate scanners.
License plate recognition and geotagging. And they know as they drive around.
And they just drive around and mail you the ticket. They don't even have the little car.
Yeah, so they do license plate recognition, which different than chalking because they don't actually have to touch your car. They don't have to mark any part of your vehicle, and there technically is no difference between having a car and a camera identifying that your car hasn't moved than having a person identify that your car hasn't moved.
They also have here, I guess they have in other areas, they have these like minivans parked on the road with speed cameras in them. So it looks like you're driving down a residential street past a minivan, and then you get a ticket in the mail that shows your license plate, the speed you're going, and you in the driver's seat. And that's pretty effective.
Arizona does that, yeah. Bastards.
Here they rented a camper.
And they don't look like a cop car. It's just like a minivan.
Yeah. Here they rented a camper so that the cop could be in view of the machinery.
And then on top of it, it's not even the police that own the van. Yeah. It's a private company that sells their service, and they split the money with the police department.
Yeah.
Constitutionality, illegal search and seizure. What exactly does this have to do with search or seizure? Nothing is being searched and nothing is being seized.
You don't have to make sense if you have the right judges on your court.
I can see the search, but it's not an invasive search by any means.
But it's not even a search. I mean, the search is if a policeman says
street, it's not in your garage.
This is true as well.
That was the losing argument, that you have no expectation of privacy parked on a public street.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And that lost?
Yes. Yeah.
Did I mention there were Trump-appointed judges involved in this?
This is true. Some of them aren't qualified, I should point out.
Really?
But again, this is where, like I said, in Boulder, I don't have a problem with the police coming around with license plate recognition and timestamps and geotagging and knowing that your car hasn't moved because there's no invasion. It's a non-invasive monitoring. If they would have taken
you call some chalk like dust on your tire to be evasive, like
what
really?
brother is watching you?
Well, I mean, it's not invasive like anal probing, but
wow, that's super invasive.
well, I had to go hyperbole, but it is. They are physically touching, and they're physically doing something to your private property.
Yeah,
and no, it's not invasive, but it's your car.
Yeah, what if that pole slipped and he scratched or dented your fender? You know he's not going to say anything.
What if he tased your car just because he got irritated?
Yeah.
Well, then I'd have him on the sentry mode.
Does that mean you can sue pigeons for shitting on your car now?
Hell yeah.
You already can. You just got to get an address to send it to.
Where do you live, pigeon?